I like UpTown LinkUp. Yes, sir. Hello?
Hello.
Is this UpTown LinkUp?
Yes, it is.
Oh, best program ever.
Come back and be this passionate about this.
How do we, as Jamaicans, then know our history?
5 goat in killer weekend time. And them eat 3 goat meat.
And remember the elderly that make this possible that everyone, because without the senior.
Who start to dig the post hole when light decide to come in. You never have no sidewalk and you have the bank inside.
Welcome to a special, very, very special, especially to me, a very special interview with one of my superior in the past and still is one of my superior, Mr. O Neill West, a CEO for the Team Force sound system back in the 80s, and Team Force evolved, and he's going to catch us up with where and what is happening with the great Team Force. But welcome, Mr. O Neill West, to the Kingston Radio 100%.
Give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise, brother. I'm there, you see me, man.
Kingston 100% Radio. Could you tell us at what year you came into the community of Hermitage?
Well, from birth, because you know, so a lot of people know they move into Hermitage.
Yes.
Well, never ever been born at the hospital and go home. I'm born right at my yard, 11 and Crescent.
Yes.
Never ever make it to the hospital. Right here, so I'm born and I'm on the big king size bed, 11 and Crescent.
Yes. And you very vibrant life as all of us did. Could you tell us a little bit about your childhood days in our community, Hermitage?
Well, as we tell a lot of people, growing up in Hermitage, it was like second to none where I wouldn't trade places or nowhere else. And as you and I know, I have experienced life in Hermitage and outside of Hermitage, from living even on the UWI campus for a brief moment to certain circumstances.
Yes.
But I used to find myself back in Hermitage and I go home 11, 12 o'clock at night. And security guard want give me an attitude and I say, I live over here.
Yes.
Hermitage still is it have a space in my heart where nothing cannot replace it, because it is not just a stepping stone, but it's actually one of the solid building blocks of my younger age into my teen age to go get and make me a go-getter. You know what I mean? From in the music industry, in the building industry of what we do always. We have to turn it on and make fashion. So we couldn't give it away. We can't deny it and we can't forget it. So at every time of my life, even up until last night, I was talking to some of my friends them. And I compare Montego Bay and Wally for other places. And I say, yeah man, them place they are tourists and them place they have this man. But we have a whole heap of things where some people wish them out.
Right.
Despite what they're talking about in these last days of the violence and the this and that. They had a lot more.
Yes.
Because I educate some people about a thing that we used to have back in the early 70s, 80s that we call Cultural Day. And I'm explaining to them what it was about. Them say they never hear about that yet, never happened nowhere else in Jamaica.
But Cultural Day was one of it's like the essence of the day in those times. And from that sprung a lot of talent. From that sprung, a lot of activities. Persons kind of move on from that kind of thing. In our time, I remember we move on to sound systems in our community.
Yeah.
The great Team Force. We're speaking to the CEO, one of the CEO.
So we're still aware. I see it. It's cool like ice right here now, you know, so I have to put on my Team Force jacket, you know.
Yes. Tell us how Team Force started back in the early 80s in our community.
Well, the sound system actually, you know, before it says team, the T did stand for teen.
Yes.
As it was teenagers coming together to do a greater good other than what was happening in our surrounding, and we turned to music.
Yes.
And it was basically me and Wayne Richards, as we know him as Wayne Smith, but his correct name is Wayne Richardson, or Lincoln Richardson. Everybody know him as Wayne. And in this, all of that, you know, our great teacher was a man that we call Stitch, otherwise they know us as Devon in the electronics era. So Wayne is a couple of years older than I. And we came up from the same primary school, from growing up in the same neighborhood. We pretty much went to the same primary school, which was Oak Valley, which me and him younger sister was at same age. And me and him kind of love the electronics business. So we gravitate to each other from an early age growing up. And we decided, so we're going to build a little sound system and we're going to build an amplifier and build this. But on the technical side, he know how to fix TV and stuff, which I also know. And on the other side now, I was more versatile than all of them as a younger guy. I could build a transformer power supply from scratch. I could take any transformer and build any size power transformer you want to put on your sound system. At the age of 14 years old.
I remember that. Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So that is how now we come together, we say we're going to build a little sound system, but we don't have no money for buying a brand new factory-made amplifier. So we decide to build them things by ourselves. We get a little circuit, we buy with transistor, we buy with resistors and couple things. We don't have to buy no big transformer because me I go build that.
Yes.
The whole power supply, me I go put that together because I have my little connection.
Yeah.
With a little help from one of our key brethren where you know as Watermelon.
Yes.
From the workplace and we put them there together, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It was great, you know, because we wanted to stay away from the negative thing that was happening around us. So for me, it was music and sports. As you know, we have the Crescent football team that I was very instrumental in also growing up in a little corner league business. And my next step to take me out of the negative thing was just music.
Yes.
And we have a lot of influence about the music, you know, because our community is well versed with talents of music and they make it big. And we could have recognized sound system like the Silver Arc and all those other sound systems that shows that there's another way you can make some money and get popular. And the rest comes with all of that. And those are the good days. And it is still the joyful days. And it's still something that I've been doing now over 33 years living in this country.
Yes.
Because
Before you go into that, can you tell Jamaica of some of the places that you took us, you and Mr. Wayne Smith, as we would call him, Mr. Lincoln Richardson, took us in Jamaica to play sound system and so on and so forth?
well, remember, we're very popular in the West area. So we used to take a lot of trips to Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, all those different places where it's almost annually we live in the West from about December 13th after school, get out holiday, and almost right back to January because we have session all over the parish. We're surrounding area surrounding White House, go right back, you know, and we have 1 and 2 dates there where we play, even in some uptown party. If you can remember, we go play one party up at Cherry Garden, and we play the Saturday night, and the way the music nice to people, and them say, no, make the sound stay, come back and play Sunday.
Yes, I remember.
Carry home, and where we are going, police stop there and say, where you carry them boy you go? And them say, where you carry them go for Hermitage, man. The man say, no, let them off up a standpipe because them will kill you.
I remember that when Gary Lee came out and all of it and went back it Yeah, for
Yeah.
some. And we have to say, no, Gary, don't do that. Because the police start crank up in and say, what am I doing?
All right.
What that was played in Barbican that night too as well. Barry G sound system. You know?
Yeah, man.
Yes, I remember that. Now, Team Force has evolved. You know,
Yes, man.
quite a bit. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, as you know, we took it. I migrated from Jamaica from back in the 80s. Came to America, and I came here with a very heavy heart because remember we played one session with a natural right next door to my house the Saturday night.
Yes.
And I had to leave the Sunday, and nobody knew that I was leaving the Sunday, which I myself was very against leaving that day because it's that time of the year we go to Westmoreland and we have a good time.
Right.
And I didn't really want to leave, but I leave Jamaica with a very heavy heart. And in less than 3 months, I came back. So, well, if I look at things, as you know, things was going one direction versus another direction between family, friends, everybody. And we take it to another level in the US now. We say, right, we're going to build with the next little company over here, so which is another family of it, with a different name. And we start to build with that industry, with that other company. And it becomes like their idea and my idea is not going down the same track, which Team Force kind of take a pause in Jamaica because at the time Wayne divert from the music, sell out the whole of the sound. And the name is there, but you know what I mean, nothing much was going on for it down there. And it was 1999 with the company I changed from here. I said, look, you know what happened? Me is a player with a team, and if I don't have a team, it's like I'm not going to go anywhere. And you guys now play as a team. It's more about I. And I mean, so I say, let's take everything and go on. The little bit what I have yourself, give me what I want, give me, I want to pay me for the rest of it, and then I go and do anything. I'm going to go back to my roots. So
that is the company that you started with over there. Yes, so you kind of remove from that company and
remove myself from there.
Yes, all over again.
And say me will start from scratch again. And I say I want to go back to my roots and start up using my company name that I have from Jamaica. Team Force, which a lot of people didn't know. Team Force even had a record label marked TF in Jamaica. We produced one of the first songs to Sugar Black.
Yes.
The next little guy, Marga Bantan.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He was Marga Bantan was Dr. Nuts after a time.
Dr. Nuts, they call him Dr. Nuts after a while because them saying sound like Professor Nuts, but original name was Marga Bantan, we used to call him.
Marga Bantan, yes.
Yeah. Yes, that was his original name. So we pretty much take it to a level where we say we're gonna go for higher heights. And after finish college over here, so I decided that I got to working for the phone company, which is Bell South. And as that was the groundbreaking of cellular phone technology coming in, I ended up in the cellular department. And with my background knowledge of power plant, building power supply, doing all those things, that was my forte, that I took on heavily in the cellular department. Deal with all different power supplies from the microwave side of the business to the cellular side of the business. And still pushing the Team Force product, until a lot of people don't even know that I was one of the supporter and equipment supplier to the big events in Jamaica like the Jazz and Blues, Sumfest, and all those large events in Jamaica. It's little Team Force started out from Hermitage.
Yes. Because big Team Force, yes.
The biggest event that ever took place around the world or in the world as reggae is the Bob Marley 60th birthday celebration in Ethiopia. And the full production, sound and light, backline and stuff was done by Team Force Audio.
Wow.
I went to Africa and I met one of our founding musicians who born and grew in Hermitage. a man goes by the name of Sangy Davis.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
And when I approached the man and tell him and remind him who I was, the man could not believe, because the man said, your father beat you one night if you don't come back around here, because they used to do a jam session every Wednesday. And I never reached home till 2 o'clock in the morning. And when I reminded him about that night, the man said, I knew you were going to be great. And those are some of the highlights of my life that I can say give thanks to music and give thanks to friends who embrace what I was doing from the get-go. Because even when a man like you came along as a selector and the sound system, I just step aside and become the mic man and make you start play the tune then.
Yes.
And I was telling a person about a week ago how we got so popular in our community. It was in the era of Hurricane Gilbert.
Yes.
Because I was repairing generators in Jamaica, and I make sure that every weekend before I come home, I have one generator when the customer now go get back till Monday. I bring it in a Bertie van and come string it up down a rigger fish. And we have one generator. As 3 months later after Gilbert, we get back power.
Yeah.
That was the little stepping stone that we had used in Jamaica to push Team Force, and we start beat them bad until when Silver get too popular and step out of the community, them say who going to be the champion. General with Arthur didn't think them did wicked, and we hold them and we cripple them one night, you know. And that was a dance in 1987.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So when I leave 1988, then wait until me leave Jamaica, then go try to tackle Wayne and say them beat back Team Force. I said, I beat them, I go on good yet, man.
Yeah, but we did our fair share of killing songs, because there was Ambassador City Trailer. We did run over all those sound systems too as well. Little Matic up in Tavern. We
yes,
did our fair share of killing, you know. I must say.
It's a lot of time I go on events, you know, and run into Major Mackerel, I run into Capleton, and I run into Sizzler quite a few times.
Yes.
And then come on the platform and Sizzler look for a guy and say, you know how long him a come? They used to run with a little team sound and play around down on the concrete down at Augustown, you know. I go up at Hermit.
Yes.
And a couple of times, there was one incident, if you remember, the night we played on a tavern when Capleton came on, and that time the Capleton wasn't the culture Capleton. And Sugar Black grabbed with the mic and said, we not DJ them music there. Him not forget it.
But I remember that night, but I played early and I went to grab a shower. I didn't come back, but
no.
I knew Capleton before that. That's why Capleton was on our sound, because Capleton sang on Megatron, I think, a couple of months before, and I was the selector on Megatron. And when he came in Barbican, he said to me, "Selector, big attack for the mic, then." So when we look on him, we know artists, right? We're just looking at a man, you can't know if he's an artist, you know. So we just look on him and looking at him eye, and it was really a party sound, Megatron.
Right.
Was keeping a party, and Capleton came up and said, "Selector, what? Give me a chat now." And I look on him and him say, say a Metro Media, I'm come for DJ panel and stand pipe them, but flap them out, you know. So I'm reach up here. So you know, so when him said that, no, I just gave him the mic. And he did a tour on the crowd, you know. But it was kind of in a residential area, you know. So he did a couple of songs, and we kind of stopped that kind of vibe there, and it was really, really nice, you know. And and Capleton saw me when we string up with Little Matic now, and when he came in, he saw me and him said, "Selector, are you?" I'm gonna say, "Yeah, man." So at that time now, him and the whole team, it was pure artists, and so they gave me them name and we big them up. But when I left the dance that night, you know, I assume something foul took place and never get to really express himself on Team Force, which was a big about a sound in the land at the time. You
Yeah,
know?
man, them time that we are kick out teeth as they would call it in them years.
Yes. Yes, for real.
And I tell people coming from the era of and playing around and going around with the great Black Star, Brigadier Jerry Tiger as a young youth going to school, and that is some of my teaching and mentoring that I had coming in the dance hall. We were a force to reckon with. Because we had a lot of background. We were from the larger professionals in the business. So,
and there was an aspect to the sound too. There was a aspect where quality was concerned.
We take those things serious. We don't just put up some box and put up some things and say we have play music, and it must sound clean and sweet. So as small as the sound is, it was a force to reckon with quality and professionalism and talent. Because we had that in those times where we know music, we study music, and we didn't just get up and jump in a one dance and just play. No, we think about what we're playing, we read the crowd, look at the people, facial expression. And you know, those were the days when selector actually care about the people enjoying themselves before them start enjoying themselves.
And watch it and make sure that the people really get to dance to the song. Do you remember any of the artists that we used to, you know, take along with us throughout our time?
That's how I tell the people, remember when we bring Bonnie General from country. He came to Wayne House at Anime them send-off celebration for the first time.
Yes.
And when people hear Bonnie General in a Kingston, Bonnie General was Team Force DJ. Before him even go up on Mama Iris with Papa San them.
Yes.
Bonnie General was in the West at the time DJing and a little sound named Dakotone. We come from up in a room. Right. Anybody can remember those days. And then when him come into Kingston to live now, him start go around Papa San them, and so Papa San them realize him have a talent, and Papa San needed another man to battle Stitchy and them bad DJ there on the bigger platform there. And even DJs who make their career as a stepping stone, the great Major Mackerel, before him ever put out one song, up them come on a DJ. Yeah. And Silver and Steely, they don't a thing there, hear the sound and hear him a DJ and ride come up there on him arc. Enough people don't know that the name Silver Arc Sound was named of Steely bike, which was a Silver Arc bike that he owned. Yes. And him ride come up there and hear the man, and I said the man, when Miss May, which is Wayne Smith's mother, hear him, she made the predicament and said that guy gonna be big. Yes. Because it was like natural talent, no great effort in entertaining people with enough melody and style.
I remember after mixing down Major Mackerel, you know, because you know, some of we good pan the mixing. So after we mix down Major Mackerel and thing, and ready for listen back to Major, you know, because we used to record all our sessions. Exactly. after that session and ready for listen back to Major Mackerel, it's pure bass we hear on the tape. You remember that?
Because those were the days we were trying to do what other big sounds were doing. Yeah, and I think what Wayne Smith doing, patch one side to the bass and patch one side to the top where you hear the vocal. And the RCA jack for the vocal side never worked, so I just pure bass.
Never get to play about the Major Mackerel at all. You know? Sir. But there was some other artists too.
Well, in those same time, if you can remember, when we have Sugar Black. Sugar Black was one of our senior and official singer for the sound system. Yes. We have another guy that came out of same Westmoreland, but I'd call him Kanai. I don't remember if he did ever have a singing name, you know. But he never did take off on a great level. But we have artists even like the great Colin Roach. All those people come through. We played a couple of sessions where If you remember the night when we killed General, you know, the amount of DJ will stand up, so they're going to represent General. And when them see the performance of me, you, and Will Smith and Sugar Black stand up on a little sound. And at the time, the owner for General is King Jammy's major engineer.
Yes.
And the man, them say, them look at you, you're going to beat your body. Remember the tune where you play and kill him?
Yes, I remember. Another one Bite the Dust and General in penitentiary and all fence. All right.
Those were the days that we know so that we love music. And it wasn't about.
I remember a couple more Pompidou, Lyrical, Beanie Man.
Remember, we go to Westmoreland and we carry the whole of the crew go to Westmoreland and White House, you know, make one big bamboo land near the beach side. When you have like Pompidou, in the just come back from foreign. You're other DJ bridging the man, I mean, no one say you love that youth that too. So those were the days where we have, as a small little sound, we were still recognized by some of the talented DJs who DJ the major platforms on the sound like the King Jammies, the Black Star, the Kilimanjaro, and all those other sounds. They will still come and DJ on our little sound because they really enjoy our area of music and the way how we were taking on the industry as some teen. So that you said, just teenager, but some young little youths. You know what I mean? And we could have been out there giving trouble. I tear down people's shop. I tear down all kind of things like what some of them is doing today. And if you take a look, you know, we don't left out music, you know.
Okay.
We left the turntable and everything.
Yes.
We don't leave music nowhere, countryman.
We are speaking to one of the main man on Team Force sound system and still is the main man today with an evolved Team Force. Tell us now a little bit about what is happening now with Team Force.
Well, as I send you some pictures and a few short video clips, Team Force, as I said, I was the power man for Team Force that built the transformer, built the power supply, and Will Smith now, we build, both of us to come together, we build the circuitry. And coming into this country, working for Bell South, I go into the power department, for the cell phone department, and the microwave department. So Team Force, I design another section of Team Force, where now I do power work for some of the largest phone companies in America. The T-Mobile, the Verizon, the CenturyLink, and even in South America, there's a company by the name of Trivirgin, and all those major companies, you know. So we do a lot of industrial installation. If you look at some of those pictures and video clips that I sent you, that is where Team Force, so that is the Team Force power. And then the major side of Team Force that we do now is, I don't play music on that platform that we used to do anymore, but we're in the studio, which I built a studio here, and we have the large sound company where we do concert setups. The Sumfest, the Jazz and Blues. Over here we do like the best of the best. We do the New York major shows then, we do the New York major carnival, the Miami major carnival. So those are the large events that we do. The big Jerk Fest, if you ever hear about Jerk Fest from Miami, Great Jamaica Jerk Festivals. So those are the larger platform of the industry that we are really on now. And it's been going good up until last year, February, January, where we saw the big
Mr.
C
COVID. Oh, the pandemic will be over soon, and Team Force can be more forceful again.
Yeah, man, we always have that hope, man, and that positive thinking, because we had pretty much put in place for Team Force returning to Jamaica as a base, home base once more. That, as I say, I came to this place with resistance, and there can't be resistance to return home, you know.
Yeah.
we have a system, we have a company set up now. Even a lot of the equipment now is in Jamaica, maintaining the existence and keeping the name alive at all given time. As I say, I don't walk out in Tommy Hilfiger, I don't walk out in no other name brand. Everything we have on is either a white t-shirt or it's a Team Force.
I must say, I must give you all the respect in the world and show the love and the support, you know, that we continue to show into each and every one that comes out of Hermitage community. We're speaking to Mr. O Neill West, Phantom Irie. He haven't tell us yet, you know, about his time and the microphone, you know, DJing, talking up all the things. Tell us a little bit about that before we go. We have about 10 minutes.
Well, at the microphone, yes, we were very creative. Even at times over here, we have some people, we may have a little gathering and a few friends would have tried if they say them can, you know, drive me in some little gimmick stock.
Yeah.
I make them know, say, son used to play, you know. I mean, we make you cry, go home, and I talk. I'm a pro with 2 grand, man.
One day things must get better.
You know, I'll go down the road. But even vocally, you know, we actually was voicing, we actually was recording an album. And we put it on pause for more than one reason. I don't shortchange the music. And certain instrument and musician that I wanted on the tracks, they weren't available at the time. And I was very adamant to have them on the track with certain instrument. And it is still there with hope to put it out one day. As I said, I think I sent you a clip of a freestyle. And that is a straight over the vocal of a phone. And some people say, you know, you have it. There's a couple of times we go into a couple of clubs over here and live band playing. And we give them a little piece of the talent and tear down the house, you know.
There we have it. Hermitage, one of our great talent out of our community, Mr. O Neill West, otherwise known as Phantom Irie, and our sound system, Neely. You know, we're speaking to him, and he's kind of updating us of where the great Team Force is right now. Thank you, Mr. West. Kingston 100% Radio. We're speaking to Mr. O Neill West.
I like UpTown LinkUp. Yes, sir. Hello?
Hello.
Is this UpTown LinkUp?
Yes, it is.
Oh, best program ever.
Come back and be this, passionate about this.
How do we, as Jamaicans, then know our history?
5 goat in killer weekend time. And them no eat she goat meat.
And remember the elderly that make this possible that everyone, you know, because without the senior.
Who start to dig the post hole when light decides to come in. You never have no sidewalk and you have the bank inside.